Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and it's year 2, week 9 of my weight loss diary. This week I'm going to try and lose weight by weighing in on video, and I'm also going to show you how to make this low-calorie, plant-based lasagna. And so it begins. These are the ingredients that I'm going to use to make this lasagna, minus the lemon juice that I forgot to put in the video. So I use these specific brands because they have lower calories. Right here I am cutting tomatoes so that I can boil them and peel the skins off to add to my sauce. Now you could just use extra marinara sauce, but if you use tomatoes instead, it will reduce the caloric density. So that's why I choose to do this method even though it takes a bit longer. So yeah, here I am boiling the tomatoes. Alright, so we're going to start showing you the sauce. The first thing I do is use frozen onions. That is because if I cut onions on my own, they make my eyes burn excruciatingly bad and I can't stand it. So I almost always use frozen onions for everything. Now I'm adding these 2 jars of Barilla marinara. I chose this brand because it's only 50 calories for half a cup. It's not the most delicious. Ragu tastes better, but that's if you want higher calories. So I use 2 jars of this, and then I add a little bit of water into the jars just to get the last bit of sauce, and dump the jars into each other and shake them up, and that's what you're going to see here, is me dumping that water mixed with marinara. It makes the sauce go a little bit further as well. Now to make up for the lack of seasoning by adding that extra water and that extra sauce, I'm going to add this salt, and I'm going to add some basil, and I recommend fresh basil if you have it. I don't have fresh basil in the winter time, but I do in the summer, but it does make a difference and taste a lot better with fresh basil. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder as well. Here are the tomatoes boiling. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so now you have to add water and ice, basically cold water, to cool them off, and then you will see that the skins peel right off. So that's what I'm doing here, peeling off some skins. Then I just blend it in my Ninja blender, and I add it to my current pot of sauce. Like I said, you could just do the easy method, which is more marinara sauce, but this will make it less calories. And I used 5 tomatoes, just for the record. And here you can see me pushing the limits as to how much this pan can hold. I kind of should have done this earlier, but I decided to add beefless ground. You can make it with or without it. It'll be less calories and if you don't use it, but it tastes better with it. So yeah, I'm definitely pushing the boundaries as to how much will fit in this pot. But I made it work, and it didn't spill any, believe it or not. So you just let that boil, and while that's all happening, then you start making your fake ricotta. Little baby bee in your little basket. Look at you in your little bed. Little baby, baby. Here's raw footage of me weighing in. I I just set my camera on the side of an ottoman, move stuff around, get all the riffraff out of the way, and then do my weigh-in. This was on a different day, but I just shoved it in the middle there. 157, same as last week. Back to this spinach thing. So yeah, I lost footage somewhere in there, and so now I'm showing you what's going on with that. But that's about 5 to 6 cups of spinach blended up with some lemon juice. Oh look, it's called nooch. We call it nutritional yeast nooch. This is about 1 cup. I'm just going to use it throughout. I don't really measure. Looking at this, I probably should have used a little more here, but you'll notice that I don't use the whole container, so I take that off later in the end. I'm adding some salt and garlic powder and basil. And then you're going to add a block of tofu. And once again, I like to push the limits of how much stuff I can cram in. Instead of using a larger blender, I just keep cramming it into this tiny Ninja. But I've done this 1,000 times, so it'll work. You like how I make a huge mess as I do this too, just dripping stuff everywhere? Alright, so you're going to blend your tofu. This is going to make your fake ricotta. Probably needed a little more salt than what I put in at this point. And we blend. Look at that. It's like the sludge that killed Ponyland, only it's green instead of purple. Alright, I got these 2 big lasagna pans, and this is where it gets real exciting. We got these wheat noodles here. I use wheat noodles. They're a lot less calories than the other type noodles. 160 calories for 2 sheets. And this is where you start your layering. You just get some sauce and you put it in the bottom of the pan, and then you start putting your noodles. And this is where I speed up the video so that we don't all go insane from boredom. And then you layer lasagna noodles, sauce, then you layer the fake ricotta, and this is where I wised up and showed you a closer video of it. So yeah, you just keep making layers. You'll only end up with 2 layers of the fake ricotta. And then this is where I speed up the video to what I call ludicrous speed. That's a Spaceballs reference, if in case you didn't get that. And yep, just layer and layer and layer. And of course your last layer is going to be a whole bunch of sauce. And this is where you use the rest of that nutritional yeast. But I'm going to show you that I didn't end up using all of the nutritional yeast, so I ended up taking that off my calculation. Look how pretty that is. 2 big pans of lasagna, ready to bake. I did sprinkle a little bit of basil on it, and then you're going to have your oven preheated to 400 degrees. You're going to cover it with foil, and it'll bake for 30 minutes, and then you uncover it and bake it for an additional 15 minutes. And here it is done, fresh out of the oven. And I ended up cutting this into 12 servings. The whole thing is 4,085 calories, but if you cut it into 12 servings, you get this huge hunk of lasagna, and it's only 340 calories. And one thing I recommend is it tastes better the next day for some reason after it sits. And if you do reheat it, you might want to add a little water because it can get dried out. And if it doesn't taste quite right, always add a little bit of salt. And that's it. Here's some obligatory cat footage for you. This is the gift that Jeff got me. I have no idea what it is. And this is Sasha dominating the gift because that's how she exists as a cat. This is our Christmas tree. Bibby! So last week I weighed in at 157 and this week I weighed in at 157. I plan on going full force with this next week after Christmas is over with. And if you're wondering why I'm not in this video, it's because I look kind of like a hobo today and I don't feel like making an effort after shooting this long tutorial on how to make plant-based lasagna. So these are my cats. Oh, they're being mean and a little bit of a mess on the floor. So anyway, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. I plan on going full force after Christmas. I really need to get back with the program as I have not lost weight in a while. So thank you all for watching. Merry Christmas. From me and the cats and this giant gift that Jeff gave me. I will see you all next time.